This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. Let's get into it. I think we are establishing the pivot point in the market. Volatility, chop before the pop or drop. Again, a lot of people moving their upside targets as the market moved into upper ranges. We know that bear market rallies typically between 17 and 20%. You got your 20% upside. At the highs, everyone screams, new bull market is starting. Well, I'll say it over and over and over and over. Never seen a bull market start when the Feds try to enact a soft landing. There is no such thing as a soft landing when they start raising rates. Never happened. Number two, the VIX has never peaked at 38 for a bear market. Max downside. Does that make sense? You're never going to see the VIX peak at 38 in a bear market. Or 40. It's usually going to be in the 50, 60, 70, 80, maybe even 90 range because there's so much liquidity to pull out. They're talking about years of liquidity to be pulled out. So please be thoughtful. Please be careful. On that note, if you're newer to the channel, want to jump in the Discord room, link is in the video. Find this is funny. You know how we talk about how gold before it rolled over, that you started to see a lot of advertisements. And when you see advertisements, it's not because they are pumping it, because they're buying with you. It's because they are selling to you. Remember, really quiet at the lows. Remember, the best advertisement for higher prices to unload into is higher prices. It's kind of funny if you actually look at this chart. It's a pivot point with a doji, which is kind of ironic, but let's not talk about that at the moment anyway. Who cares? Hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions, message me. Love to help you out if I can. Link to Discord room. If you need it, let me know. If you're newer to trading in general and you want to get involved and learn, I beg you, please watch the Back to Basics videos. If you like the content here, I'm literally trying to make a point of how everything within the market works. Fibonacci, mindset, novice pro gaps, all the fun stuff there. Bear bull traps. Apologize for congestion. I was in a house all day that was smoky. And yeah, just kind of is what it is. Please be thoughtful, though, when you are learning. Do not expect to get from novice to pro level in 1, 3, 10, 20, 30 weeks, months, whatever. I mean, it takes time. Mastery is 10,000 hours, right? You think you're going to figure out something that people pay millions of dollars, I mean, tens of millions of dollars in computers and algorithms and, inside information, and you're going to figure it out in 3 days, 3 months, maybe even 3 years? Probably not. That's why I think there's a huge value in my experience. And again, I apologize for the congestion. An experience I don't mind sharing with others as long as you're willing to do the work. I am here. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. All right, Bitcoin. Yeah, again, I'm not a proponent of buy and holding this thing at the moment. I think it's a trader's market, just like the bear market. Bitcoin rallies. Now it's looking very toppish. That's all I can really say. Oil, not surprised. It's a bouncing. It hit range lows. Come on, why didn't you save? Let's just draw it out to here. I mean, it's very obvious. That's the area. Here comes the biggest pickle, though, right? Oil goes higher. Feds don't cut. Clearly not. They can't. Inflation starts picking up, which it clearly is. Again, it's funny how the narratives talk about CPI coming down, which, I mean, again, year over year, month over month, yes, it's coming from extreme levels, but inflation anchoring in 5, 6, maybe 7%. Market is not going to like it. The Feds have a 2% mandate. And guess what? 50-year low in unemployment, whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter. Their dual mandate is low unemployment and inflation. Well, if you have high inflation and low unemployment, they're going to continue to raise rates at a pace to take care of it. If they had the cojones, they would absolutely do 50 basis point rate hikes until they got it under control, which probably would tank the market. Again, no such thing as a soft landing. They won't do it, so could be this long drawn out process where we get to higher and higher and higher rates over time. Please be careful. Natural gas. I don't know why I have to say it over and over and over again. I don't know if we're going negative futures, but we're coming into support, but I don't care. There's clearly a glut going on out there. I'm so glad, for the love of God, we unloaded in the 6s. I mean, I guess that's there, but yeah, please be thoughtful. I mean, I don't even know what to say it sometimes. You mean you literally beg people not to take the trades on, and they still do it anyway because they see low prices and they go, this is Walmart. They rolled back prices. I have to buy it. Don't be the conditioned shopper. Be thoughtful. Just because they drop the price doesn't necessarily mean it's a bottom. Just like high prices don't always necessarily mean the top either, right? People are like, oh, I got to jump in short. Something's high. Man, I'm super congested. Not true. Not true, y'all. All right, let's get into it and try to make this quicker. Again, trying to make the recaps just a little faster for the folks, players at home. Dollar, talked about it bottoming here in the 27, 20, 30 range. You're welcome. Gap up, said it gets over the 20-day. It's going to hold. Now basing at the 50-day. Doesn't look bearish to me. Just looks like it's, you get a lot of gaps in the dollar. Be prepared. Looks like it's chopping, waiting to go higher. We talked about things that aren't bullish. But again, I mean, I get trolled because I am trying to be evidence-based. I don't placate to the masses. That's the one thing you're going to get from me versus everyone else. I don't care if I'm wrong, and I don't care if the perception is that I'm early, and I don't care to argue with people if they don't have evidence-based in their evidence from their basis. Again, I know the market typically goes higher, but this is a bear market. It's a trader's market. Dollar going higher. Bonds, we talked about, oh, if inflation was coming down, why are the rates going higher and the TLT lower? Lower high, 200-day fail. M top. See what happens here. Probably bulls ain't going to get too excited about that. Rates go higher. The VIX closing over the 20-day. I said this on the Discord room, and we'll see if anyone pays attention to it. Said, watch out. This could be a gap in trap, and the VIX ready to wake up. Anytime it gets over the 20-day, at least had a little bit of a pop. Is this the extreme? I don't know. You made the extreme low. After going from extreme high, does it build its way back up? I think so. Bear market ain't over, y'all. I'm just warning. Warning. VIX. Sorry. SPY. Here you go. Gap down. Inside day. Closes at support. If I'm a bull, I'm scared crapless overnight. I'm pooping my pants as we speak if I was a bull. Because here's the thing. Lower highs. Blow off. Novice gap. And we're talking about gaps at inflection points. Novice and pro, if you know the difference. Good. If you don't, watch the video on it. It's part of the YouTube channel. Just Google, or just search it. YouTube it. Now what? Another blow off top on the State of the Disaster address that we had yesterday. I mean, State of the Union. Apologize for incorrect verbiage. Now what? When it starts, you can start moving fast. Start moving fast. Just professional gaps start in the next move. Right? These gaps look like they were going to go, but remember, they're dojis. Always got to be a little nervous with dojis because they're indecision, right? Gaps that close at near the low of the day, a little more powerful, right? QQQ. Speaking of powerful, right? Gaps down, closes near the range low, sorry. Watch the 303 here, because I think this is a novice gap getting up into the reference points. Talked about 20% in the Qs. Bear market rally, folks. Oh, but Dan, Let's go zoom out. Stop it. If you're arguing with me and you don't see that we back tested the trend line, also the 0.25 fib. I mean, I don't always pull out the monthlies, but I should. I feel like maybe what if I just did a monthly chart recap every day? No, people would get bored, but no one looks at them. IWM, same thing. Gets up. Remember we talked about it lagging and leading. This thing is this is not pretty. Qs and SPY are kind of up, I would say, in this range. This thing is not pretty. Looks like a novice gap distribution and fail. And you had your bounce. You could be saying adios, arrivederci tomorrow. Sayonara, whatever. Gold. All right, talked to my boy Lee today. Talked about why you took profits on your puts on the gap down. Remember the IV expansion? Demand in the puts grew. Big. And now people wanted to buy puts the very next day. I'm like, patience, grasshopper. Oh, man, my computer didn't say. I got the blue screen of death last couple nights, and so it's just like brutal. It said, watch what happens when it gets in the 175s. got there today. And now, the thing what we talked about, not professional gap. Oh, shouldn't it just dump? Okay. Yes and no. Gold drops $80 an ounce very quickly. IB expands. Puts are heavily bought. Well, market maker now what is what? Crushes the IB and sits it sideways for a couple days. Then it goes lower in time. That would be my guess. Now, how much lower? I'd say first support somewhere around, clearly in this 170 to 167 range. Let's just pop it off. There you go. So if you're short it, congrats. I still like the dust because guess what? When the market rolls, miners get cooked. Absolutely freaking burned. Same thing, silver. We talked about how it was not confirming the gold highs. People, again, this is the thing. Like, I don't placate to the masses here, especially with like gold. I told y'all I didn't think it was acting well. I didn't think the miners were giving you evidence of higher highs to come. Adios. Silver was another one. Took time. Took a lot of time. But the evidence didn't change. It didn't all of a sudden just start looking bullish. I was like, this is even worse. Gaps up, closes at the lows. Big green, big red candle, big red gum. And then flop. Talked about the miner doing what? Lagging, right? Made lower highs, gap down, multi-day range, hold the 50-day. Probably going to fail at some point. GDXJ. Lagging, we talked about, the juniors should lead, right? They came off the bottom first. Makes lower highs, significant lower highs. Can't even get over the 50-day. Something's not right, but when you're just talking, people don't listen. Congrats if you're in the dust trade. If you're in the dust trade, gold metals, again, be careful with shorting gold at this point because that Russian stuff could pop up at any point. I don't mind puts because you have a defined risk, but I do like dust and the pain to come in the miners. AG, we talked about, like, what was this? Confirming, like, one of the biggest miners that you follow for silver, if you follow silver in general. Look what it did. Trash. Trash. Trash, 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 trash. And what did it do? Flop, 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 flop. Just saying. It doesn't look good. You shouldn't believe in the miners. AEM was leading up, then gaps down, and then it's probably stuck. Has been stuck under the 50-day. Professional gap started the move. Doesn't have to go all. I mean, this is the pattern we talk about. On the big drop, sometimes you get a bounce or a couple inside days. Just don't ever be surprised by that. Again, repeating formations everywhere. Newmont. Remember, this candle didn't count. Buys another miner. Talked about how they were going to have to spend money, borrow money. Bad legacy miners, big miners. Now, again, people will say, oh, they're going to have the gold. All right, well, we'll see. Their stocks don't look good. I'd rather buy junior miners if you do believe in the next gold up move, which we do. At some point, we will. PAAS hits the upper trend line. Channel. Fail. Flawless failure. AMD, let's get into tech, because this is the thing we talked about. What? AMD loves to blow off top and fail. Nice look up again and fail. Wick. That doesn't look good, y'all. NVIDIA. Is this a blow-off? Is this a blow-off? Got to pretty painful if you've been shorting this. We talked about being careful. And again, when you're short, like I got stopped out of Microsoft today. Ended up closing at the lows. That happens sometimes. But if you would have shorted, say, down here and you didn't, pain, drain. I mean, that's the thing. Stops are part of the game. Taiwan Semi holding up decently well last couple days in the sense of not flopping over, but it's still a lower high. Watch out. It doesn't look good. SMH, oh, it's going to the moon. Okay, at the highs, that's what all the freaking clowns say. And I don't mean to call you a clown if that's you, but it's choppy, toppy, floppy. Got pretty straight line-ish, got up into resistance. Now what? That at some point, this looks all very distributive. Look at this small candle, big volume at the highs on a gap. Now we talk about volume price analysis. This is a anomaly. This is an anomaly, y'all. Small candle, look at it. Right? Small candle, big volume. Small candle, big volume. Something's wrong. Just keep an eye on it. Adobe, we talked about this, was not looking so pretty. When you have these dojis at the highs, right? And you gap. And then you gap down below. That says game over. The partido está abierto. And the over. Yeah, whatever. Apple. People are like, oh, when are you going to short? This was the day This was the retest. Oh, but I took my Apple puts, or I'm scared now. Scared money don't make money. Got to know your setups, y'all. Trying to like mess with it. Look at this. Look at this setup. Opens low, closes high, long wick, blows out, huge volume. You're welcome. You were the exit liquidity if you bought up here. Now we're short. Be careful. It could retest it. Please don't chase. Someone said today, he's like, I got a DM. I understand why you say don't chase now. You tend to get multiple retests, potentially at worst 2. Maybe even 3, 4, 5. Depending on what your levels are. I'm like, shh. Don't tell everybody that because they don't realize it. Now, if you're in the room, cool. But if most people just don't get that. They're like, oh, I got to chase. And then they get out of position. They get bent over sideways, and they don't know what to do. Amazon. Yeah, look, here you go. Here's that gap up, flop. Watch the 20-day. If that breaks 20-day, adios, amigo. Sayonara, sucker. Private equity money coming into CRM. Holding up okay. Down a lot. It's good to see private equity money coming in, but is private equity always right? Nope. There's a lot of big, stupid money out there, too. Google, AI issues. Again, the whole AI craze is hilarious to me because it's free. Sorry, did I just yell? Yeah, I did. It's free. AI is going to be free. It's going to be part of a lot of packages. It's not going to, is one going to be better than the other? Probably. But there's going to be tons of it. Google's AI today flopped. People are like, oh, lost $110 billion in market cap. Oh, okay, well, it probably should be worth $80 or $75, let's be honest. Oh, Meta, finally, you start to crack. Here again. AI. All right, Allen Iverson, I get it. Watch what happens. 182 fills. No, let's look back at the trend lines, right? Let's look back at the trend lines because I have a feeling they could come into play. Just watch it. Now, again, I think the move is done. It's just a matter of time before it breaks. Meta is crap. Microsoft blew us out. That happens. This is why you got to be careful, right? You see a lot of these things at the highs and the lows. You think this is it. One more for the boys. One more for the boys, eh? Someone said there's a trend line. I'm like, I think I see the trend line you're talking about. Yeah. Well, congrats if you shorted it today, not yesterday, because yesterday you're still down. But this is not bullish. That's big red. Big red. Not good. NDAQ, as we talked about, lagging. No volume going to be on the NASDAQ one of these days when all these tech companies have no volatility, no buyers, no sellers. People are just like done with tech. Tech is trash. They're going to roll into what? Commodities, industrials, housing. They always do in higher interest rate environments. Inflation is not good for tech. As much as I say that, people still don't listen. Oh, what do you think about Tesla? What do you think about this tech? I'm like, okay, well, if you didn't listen the first time, do I have to say it 17 other times? No. You either believe in it and know it or you don't. I don't care. MicroStrategy, interesting. Inside days, a little lower, a higher high, but closes near the low end of the range. Netflix popping, I think, on the Disney numbers. Okay, cool story. I mean, we'll see what happens if it sustains. Again, Disney is undercutting, and this is the thing about the cable wars, right? It's not going to be very easy for them to win. They're always going to have to be cutting prices. Think about it. In inflationary times, like who can afford, I mean, clearly if you're watching this channel, you can afford it. I'm just kidding. And just in general, like the differences in prices, like if you're going to have to pick and choose, I feel like Netflix is the out. I'd rather take Hulu and Disney and then a lot of these little separate apps than paying for Netflix. I mean, I don't know. I don't like any. Does anyone really like the conflict on Netflix? Leave me a comment below. Is there like anything really out there that you watch? I mean, we watch stuff when we're bored, and it's like Cocktail Wars or like a glass blowing contest and like Wednesday. I mean, these are shows that you would only watch because you're bored, and they're not really like, I don't know. They're okay, I guess. But who should be reading books? That's why I tell my wife, I'm like, we should be reading more books, and I try to read more books. Roblox, again, I wouldn't short it because I think they're a buyout target at any point, but I get it if you want to short it. Tesla, oh my God, gets over 200. You are such an idiot, Dan. Okay, we'll see. We're in the next resistance zone. Remember, we talked about you could buy it down here, so I don't want to hear it from the bears. I don't want to hear, oh, you only took like 20 points of it. I don't care. I wasn't shorting here, wasn't shorting here. Said watch now up here. I think you can short it. But guess what? Patience. Let's look at materials names, right? Because they're looking a little weak sauce. Earnings, that ain't bullish, y'all. Nucor runs up, straight down at retesting of old levels. Be careful. That looks bearish to me. VALE, we talked about this one lagging hard. Materials names, this is not looking good. Arrow, copper names. Talked about copper rolling over. All right, holding the 20-day. We'll see what happens. CCJ, I know some people shorted in the 28 level, 29. Congrats. Makes sense to me. CF, love the ag names, but they ain't working, They ain't working, y'all. So, let's see what happens. Choppy. I think it's going back to fill the gap at 74. Mosaic, holding up better than others, but we'll see. Chopping. NTR today. Oh, finally that 200-day hit and fail. Again, things that wouldn't be happening if the market was bullish. AA, right? Pops up on the ban of Russian aluminum. Flops right back. Caterpillar got the short on this one as well. Got in. Puts on the gap for earnings because I thought it was going to gap down. Closed them out. Got a short on here. Said watch anywhere up in near the 20-day. Not surprised. It's basing. And then see ya. I think it could lead tomorrow if the markets do gap down. XLF. Frustrating people. I'm like, man, this is just giving you gifts and gifts and gifts and gifts. 37 plus. Absolute short. JP Morgan. Short FAS. Buy the FAZ. Whatever. Double top. Watch it. The 0.618. Morgan Stanley. Lower highs, right? No. Trend line. But lower highs after getting up there. Looks like there's, I mean, look at this. It looks like there's a cap on this stock. Does this make sense when you look at it? You see all these wicks? That's exit liquidity. Or is that you buying it? Probably not. I hope so. Hope not. Goldman Sachs gets back up. Another wick. We'll see what happens here. Getting into, I mean, it's clearly, I mean, hopefully y'all can see this, right? Watch what happens up here. Think it's going to roll. FAS, again, I love this. Anything 89, 90, 91, whatever. Don't care. 91 octane, even better. XBI, I mean, did anyone see this today? Down $3? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that was a trap. Below the 20-day? Uh-oh. Solar. Ha! Piece of solar, such crap. Gaps up, flops. Not surprised. I think solar's going much lower. This is the environment where solar gets slapped. Natural gas, oil, commodities have to come down. Rates have to go up. Who is buying solar? Not me. ENPH, we talked about it. Be careful with earnings. Look what it did. Again, the second mouse got the cheese. All day. All day. If you shorted before, you got screwed, and then it closed at the lows of the day. That's not something you see when the market's bullish. Sedge, look at this. Another 16-point range. Another test of the upper side of range. First solar, up all day. Wait, what is that? Long wick, close at the lows. Not bullish. Let's end it on your friend oil. Now, again, I don't mind oil holding up because it's going to put the feds in a pickle. But again, I don't think people are buying solar when they can't barely afford $3 a gallon in gasoline. They can't afford a $30,000 solar panel. And they don't want to lease it. You don't want a 20 or 30-year lease it. Please don't. Please don't. The technology will only get better. You're going to be holding on to a bag of, I can't say bag of wieners. I would say just bag holding. Yeah, not surprised it rallied a little bit. Keep an eye on it. UNG, leave it alone. How many times do I have to say it? You got stopped out. Stops did their job. I mean, I know people have been buying, and this thing's got cut in half. The trade was to short, clearly. XOP. Someone was saying, hey, I'm watching for the 142 level. My man Xavier, I don't know if you're getting it, homie. Watch all the moving averages converging here. I don't know what again, I think some of you guys who, I love you to death, and I know you mean well, but you sit around and look at the 5 and 10 minute chart all day, and you don't start on the daily, you don't start on the weekly, you don't start on the monthly. If I could, I would grab you through the screen and give you just a gentle slap, like, wake up, like a teacher with a ruler, wake up, stop it. Oxy. Okay. That was the short. Bounces. Here you go. Look at all these moving averages. Probably not going to get over it. ExxonMobil. Retests the old highs, not the new all-time highs. Chopping around. We'll see what happens here. PX Dizzle. What we talked about. Something's wrong with this. As oil was holding up, this just couldn't get anything. And then look today. Pops up to the 50 days. Instantly. Drop. Drop? No. EQT again. I mean, call me if you need me to help you manage your natural gas futures, because I can tell you how to do it. I'm just kidding. I mean, this talk has been just bunk. I don't even know why I show it. I guess it just to state a fact. Stops do their job. You don't go back to the well when levels break. You just leave them alone. All right. Appreciate everybody. Sorry I didn't do a recap yesterday. I had a ton of things going on. Super busy. Here's your recap for tonight. Please, again, I don't mind people trading quickly, but if you are buying and selling and short and you don't have a core position of shorts that you're letting ride and you have time, I don't know, again, with defined risk, stops, right? You're going to miss the big move. People, and again, let me just end this story. Like, I used to tell people, like, trades, I'd be like, hey, I'm looking at this, and I think it's got, 3, 5, maybe 10 points in it. And I would trade it, and I would make that much, and I would tell people about it. And then, again, this is when I'm more focused on day trading. Then I'd get calls weeks, months later. Dan, thank you so much for that recommendation on that stock. I know you were trading around it. Did you hold on to it? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, my God, thank you so much. It went up 50, 100 points, 200 points, 30 points, whatever the amount. Did you not get all that? And it's like, no, I was trading around it. Or not like trading around. I was like, I was just trading it right near the extremes, and then I just tried to get too smart, and it ran away from me, and then I never got into it. That's going to happen. That's going to be you. I'm telling the stories because I know some of you guys are listening. That's you. So, again, I appreciate the love, support, the donations. All that stuff matters, man, because you're getting an education. You're getting to hear what people will never hear, and I don't think people realize that because this is A1A experience. 2, I don't placate to the masses. We're evidence-based. And I'd rather be that way and wrong than just following what some numbnuts says on the internet. And you should too. You need to become your own arbiter of information, disinformation, whatever. What you make the decisions. I'm trying to teach you how to make decisions. Not follow the masses. Because what do the masses do? They get slaughtered all day. All the time. Remember, 95% of traders win or lose. Discord room, I'm hoping 80% of y'all are the only percent that lose and 20% of y'all succeed. If we've done an amazing job. All right, talk to you later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.